Hello, Oklahoma City. I am speaking to you from my home on a Saturday. This in and of itself is a symbol of the extraordinary times in which we live. It was less than 2 weeks ago when we received news of our first locally transmitted case of COVID-19. We know from the experiences of other cities that if we had not acted fast, we would have had no escape from a terrible loss of life and a collapse of our healthcare system. And so we declared an emergency and used those powers to address the high-risk activities where the virus is most likely to spread. These were lessons learned from other cities and from our own city's reaction to pandemics of the past. On Tuesday of this past week, Governor Stitt went much further, closing all non-essential businesses and activities, and he did so uniformly across the Oklahoma City metro. I continue to commend him for those actions. Our legal team has analyzed his orders all week and found them to be largely in line with the so-called shelter-in-place orders we have seen announced across the country. In fact, 43 of the nation's 50 largest cities now have a shelter-in-place order in effect. However, the avoidance of that terminology this week has created some confusion in Oklahoma City. More on that in a moment. On Tuesday, I told you that I was formalizing my consultation with public health officials and creating the mayor's COVID-19 Public Health Advisory Group, led by Dr. Patrick McGough, director of the Oklahoma City County Health Department. I have asked them to communicate regularly, up to every 24 hours, and continue to reassess our city's risk profile for the spread of COVID-19. One thing we both understand, they as public health officials and myself as mayor, is that you, the people of Oklahoma City, need clarity. You want to stop the spread of COVID-19 as much as we do. You need us to speak with a unified voice and a clear voice and give you the public health experts direct guidance as to what you should do. As such, my public health advisory group has recommended to me that Oklahoma City incorporate the governor's orders of Tuesday into my proclamation and that we clearly articulate to you that our community is now officially sheltering in place. Mayor Bynum of Tulsa and I have been communicating about this as well, and he is making this same announcement simultaneously right now in Tulsa. I have also shared this information with our neighbor cities in the metro. Out of the nation's top 50 cities, Oklahoma City and Tulsa are now the 44th and 45th to take this step. Incorporating the governor's orders into mine also allows us to enforce them locally. I have signed this revised proclamation, and these new measures take effect at midnight tonight. What does all of this mean? For a greater level of detail, visit okc.gov to read the proclamation and our FAQs. But let me try and summarize here. Shelter in place means, just as we have been saying since the governor's orders on Tuesday, you should stay home. However, you can go out for essential errands such as groceries, takeout food, medicine, doctor's visits, and other essential shopping and tasks. You can also leave to go work in an essential job. You can also leave for outdoor exercise. When you leave for any reason, practice social distancing. You don't need any special papers or IDs to leave your home. This is what shelter in place looks like in other American cities. On Tuesday, I spoke to the realities of living in a free society. Only you can force yourself to stay in your house. I wield a pen, not an army. Have you seen the funny videos of Italian mayors yelling at their constituents to stay home? They may be funny, but sometimes that's all we've got. You have to be my partner as we shelter in place. If you're waiting for an armed soldier to stand in your front yard, that's not going to happen. I come armed only with facts. People are getting sick and people are dying. I don't want you to be one of them. And I don't want you to be a carrier that spreads the virus to others. Just use common sense. As of today, the Oklahoma City Metro has 164 cases and 8 deaths from the virus. Those numbers more than doubled between Tuesday and Friday this week. COVID-19 is very real, and the public health experts in this community are telling you how you can avoid it. We ask that you heed their call and you stay at home. We don't yet know how long this new normal will last. To some extent, that depends on the virus. To some extent, it depends on you. The sooner the virus stops spreading, the sooner life returns to normal. But whatever the case, we'll adjust and we'll get through this together. Remember, an empty city reflects a people who love each other so much they are staying home to save one another. As I said on Tuesday, the emptier the city, the fuller our hearts. Stay home, Oklahoma City. Be well.